All right. I'm here with Zach Molzer, the 24-year-old developer from
25 now.
I'm here with Zach Molzer, the 25-year-old developer from Kansas City who is changing the game through social media.
We're chugging along, man.
Thanks for coming down. Thanks for coming down to New York City.
100%.
You came only for the podcast.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So let's get into it. How did you get started into development?
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Kansas City. I then went to University of Nebraska, Lincoln for college, go Big Red. There I went in as a management major and then loved, the idea of managing and running people, and everything in life's a people game. My sophomore year, I then moved in this beautiful apartment building. It was 16 units. This guy converted this old office building into lofts. There's really nothing special about it. It wasn't like super intricate. Again, I was a college student, but I loved it. I loved where I lived. I loved the location. I loved they had a rooftop patio that was just awesome that I never understood why no one used. I would always have people there. I loved to host, loved to cook. And I was like, why does society tell people that you shouldn't love where you live when you rent? Everyone talks about the American dream is, you get out of college, you pay off your student loans, you rent somewhere, and then as soon as you can buy a house, you put a down payment on a house, family, yay, blah, blah, blah. Well, why do we have to skip that step of loving where you live when you rent? So I added urban planning as a major. I then graduated. I worked for a development firm down in Tulsa. It was just two brothers and myself. Really throwing the fire and figured it out. So I was doing everything from acquisitions, capital raising. We self-GC'd everything. We self-operated. Had a blast. It was a great time. Learned a lot. At some point, you got to just, either jump ship or get on the golden handcuffs. So I left in February of 2024. I started my own development firm, and here we are now in New York.
When you started, did you feel like you were ready starting that early? Because most people don't start until, 5, 10, even 20 years into their career.
There's no right time to do anything. So the short answer is no. No one's ready for anything in life. The sooner people realize that everybody's just BS on their way through life that's how it works. No, I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready. Right. You learn, you grow. There's hiccups along the way. There's challenges, but you learn the most by doing.
True.
And I think that's the biggest thing that people need to get through their heads is you just got to do it. No one's going to tap you on the shoulder and tell you it's the right time. Because there is no right time. You just gotta send it.
True. And how'd you go about hiring your first people?
So when we started, we started February 24. So my buddy Seth reached out to me and said, hey, this was October of 24. So what, 6 months in, 7 months in, he said, hey, I want you to meet with my buddy. It's my boss's son. He's in college right now. He's in real estate, things like that. And so I was like, all right, I'll meet with him. We hit it off. It was awesome. I then had him start doing side things for me. Well, again, he was still in school. And then come February, I was like, hey, do you have a job lined up, post-grad? He goes, actually, I was really hoping you would ask me that. So he started full-time in May of last year. I then promoted him 2 months ago to vice president of development and partner. So Colin is amazing. And then had Annie help run our social media and build that up. Now we have Anna. We're bringing on 3 interns this summer. We've got 2 VAs overseas. So we're a small but mighty team.
Yes, sir. So when you first started, you were solo for a little while?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously have business partners on the projects, but it was Molzer Development is just Zach.
Okay. And going back to college, do you think college played a role in your career so far?
Yeah. I mean, college is I think very important for a lot of different reasons. I wouldn't say the academic side of college. It's not like I learned development in college. Sure, there were concepts and things like Excel and data analytics and all that fun stuff, but what you get out of college is what you put into it. And that's the connections, that's the people, that's the confidence, that's the shaking hands, that's the, messing up, making mistakes, but learning and doing and meeting a lot of people. I always joke that I'll never hire someone that had a 4.0 GPA in college because that means they didn't have enough fun.
Fair. So you think college is still worth it to go?
Depends on what you want to do. You need to go to college to be a doctor. I think you need to go to college to be a teacher. I think you should be a 2-year program though, and then you student teach your third. I think that college should be and could be 2 years, not 4, because there's so many miscellaneous random classes that you are forced to take and pay for that are insane. I took history of rock and roll.
That didn't help
when
you?
will that ever be applicable to my life?
Didn't help you?
No, did not.
Not even karaoke night?
No, it was not. It was. You didn't even get to sing in it.
Fair.
And so I think that's the problem with it is just the way society. It's also getting very expensive. So it depends. I think college is great for some people. It's not the right fit for others. We do need more people to get into the trades, and I think that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, you can learn and do things from anywhere in the world right now with the power of social media and the power of your phone, a laptop. There's so much data out there and so much knowledge that you can learn all that by picking up a book,
True.
or just asking Claude.
So talking about social media, obviously you've blown up over the last 2 years on
Yeah.
social media. Walk us through how you even got started. How'd you learn about it? How'd you decide to start posting?
Yeah, so I'd say it started with Twitter. I always, when I first graduated, I started like posting more on Twitter about like what we were doing out in Tulsa and all that fun stuff. And then when I left and started my own firm, still just posting about what we were doing, buying this big building, yada yada. And then I realized like, why does no one, like, I was doing it in the written content wise of like Twitter, but why is no one like making videos or talking about development? I get it. Like there's so many different parties that have to, in a way say yes, your lenders, your investors, things like that. But so it was that summer I was like, I want to start doing this. But I'm a developer. I don't have time to, do all that fun stuff. So brought on Annie and basically just gave her the keys and said, I film, edit, do whatever. I was like, I don't know what it takes to go viral. I don't know what this looks like, but let's try. Took 7 months for us to get to 3,000 followers. And then from there, it just exploded. And it's all repetition. You just got to keep doing it. There's no like perfect timing. There's no like cracking the code necessarily. Do cool things, document it, be yourself, and good things can happen. So now we've got, like 380,000 followers on Facebook, 250,000 on Instagram, 60,000 on TikTok, 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think 15,000 on LinkedIn, 32,000 on Twitter, X. So I think it's just under 800,000 total across all of our platforms, which is crazy. Last month we had 132 million views, which is just insane.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How have you seen that change your career and your company?
I mean, it's been unbelievable. I mean, just the rooms, even just being in New York right now, at the gala yesterday, I've met my business partners through X. I've met some of my best friends through these platforms, investors, property leads. I mean, everything, brand partnerships. It's all, I would say the biggest benefit is just the delayed gratification of it. What's going to happen over the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. When we walk into a room and the city hall and the city council members, they already know me. They already know exactly who I am, what my vision is. When I go to a neighborhood meeting and they're already with their pitchforks and they find out that it's me, they're like, okay, we'll hear them out at least. So it's the delayed gratification things. It's not necessarily the monetization or making money off of it right now. It's what's going to come from it. So just being consistent, but no, it's changed my life 100%.
For sure. And you got your first investor from X, right?
Yes. First investor. Foley was here at the gala yesterday. And now, up to this point, countless people, again, best friends and also business partners, investors, things like that.
How much money have you raised in total from social media?
A couple million for sure. I'd have to go back and look. To date, we've raised $12 million total over the past 2 years.
Wow.
And that number is going to go up here soon.
Yeah. What advice could you give to somebody who's trying to get started in social media? Obviously, as a developer, you can probably give them a good guideline, but just in general, how is your knowledge of social media and how to post, and what can you tell people that are trying to post?
Consistency, number one. There's a balance between like quantity and quality, and it's different depending on your types of content. Ours, the short form, informative. Some people's are more like POV stuff. Some are UCG, user generated content. Like there's so many different routes, but it also just depends on what you're doing. Like we're a development firm. We're not selling goods or services. We're not selling a product. So like that's nice to have, but then there's other people that like, they are selling a good or service or a product and their metric for what success looks like on their social media is different than what it looks like for us. I don't care about the followers or anything anymore. We used to, for sure. It's obsolete now because I never thought that we'd be where we're at.
Yeah.
But it's not like my business gets better the more we grow the social media. Now it's just autopilot in a sense.
Yeah.
So my advice would be is consistency. We post every other day. We have for 18 months on every platform. That's the other part is you never know who's lurking on every platform is very different.
Sure.
Every algorithm is very different. But what is like funny to me is the videos that perform well on one platform, those videos perform well on all platforms.
Yeah.
So a good video is good. And that when I say a good video, it doesn't need to be the most edited video. Doesn't have to have the most insane hook. The algorithm's crazy. Things that just pop up, it just works. It's
Yeah.
wild. So that, and then find what your why is. Like, what are you trying to accomplish with your building it? My why was I just want more people to know about what we're doing, know about our passion, and love for Kansas City, and show people what's possible and that you can just do things.
For sure. So going into Kansas City now, why Kansas City?
Well, I mean, I was born and raised there, but the metrics of that city are unbelievable. I mean, since 2015, there's been billions of dollars of development, both private and public. Right now, there's $7 billion worth of active projects going on. The Royals just announced a $4 billion development of moving in downtown ballpark.
Crazy.
With the redevelopment of Crown Center. South Loop Cap, that's a $400 million project of doing the Roy Blunt Luminary Park, capping 670. There's 5 towers in the works right now. Barney Plaza across the street from the Aladdin. There's so much things going for it. Rent growth is at some of the highest in the country, which is good in a way. It's bad in a way. It means we need more housing.
Yeah.
What I love about Kansas City is you have the Midwest feel, you have the city vibes, but it's also it's not too big, big fish, little pond. There's so many great things happening in that city. And what's so crazy to think about is one problem that we do have is the lack of jobs. We need more larger employers. Well, Kansas City is already growing year over year and having all these success and all these things happening. What happens when we do get big jobs?
Yeah.
What's going to happen then?
It's going to explode.
It's going to explode.
So what legacy do you want to leave on Kansas City?
Yeah, that's a good question. When you think about like Kansas City and like people and names of like prominent figures over the last 100 years or so, you think of the Hunt family, you think of the Kaufman family. I'd love for there to be a chance that people that Molzer's in that conversation when I die.
Yes, sir.
That's the goal. It's not about wealth. It's not about money. It's not about things. It's about building our city and it's for everyone. And at the end of the day, that's what's so cool about development is it's not my project, it's the city's project.
It's for everyone.
I want everybody to get to use it. And that's what's so unique and so fun about being able to build these things.
For sure. You think they're going to put a statue of you?
I don't know if I want a statue.
No?
Not really.
I think it would look pretty cool, no?
I don't know. That's no statue. I don't name a building after me.
You just want them to have your name in the conversation when it comes to Kansas City.
Maybe like a library would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. So what is your plan to get your name in that conversation? Obviously with your buildings.
Keep growing, methodical and strategic growth, but keep doing the right things. We're investing significant dollars into our city. We're doing it the right way. We're activating neighborhoods. We just got to keep doing that. We don't need and want to get over our skis, which some would argue we already did, but whatever. Just keep doing the right things. You do the right things. You don't burn any bridges, and the world is yours as long as you just continue to stay afloat. How
much money would I have to pay you to move out of Kansas City?
I want houses in a lot of different places, but Kansas City will always be home base. Yeah. Like I will always call Kansas City home. It'll always be home base. Would I love to have a house in Charleston? Yes. Would I love to have a place in Arizona to go be with my mom, my little brother, my stepdad? Yes. Would I like to, have a place in Jamaica or something? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to have all that, but Kansas City is always gonna be home base. So to fully move out and never go back, nothing. Yeah, money doesn't do anything. Money does everything, but money doesn't do anything. Without happiness, then you can't buy that.
True.
And I love Kansas City.
True. Where's Kansas City going to be in the next 10 and 20 years?
I think Kansas City right now is in a spot similar to what Dallas was in 2010.
Okay.
I think Kansas City will never be a tier 1 city, and that's why I love it. I would argue right now we're in that tier 3 conversation. I think that if we play our cards right, elected official wise and development wise, I think we could be a tier 2 city. I think you could put us up in conversations with the Nashville, things like that. I think it's gonna take a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, and I can't do it alone. Yeah. We need a lot more people like myself that want to build and want to invest dollars in our city. But it could be something really special.
For sure.
And I want to be at least just a small piece of it.
For sure. If you could invest in Kansas City as a stock, how much money would you put in?
All of it. Everything.
All in.
Yeah. All 35 cents I've got right now. I think I have my backpacks back at the hotel, and I've got the these like dollar coins. I haven't seen those in forever. Found them in my backpack today.
Okay, maybe they're worth
I've
more
got-
than $1 now.
Maybe. Could be. Yeah, we're stocking up on pennies too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, gotta keep
they're
pennies.
gonna be go up. They're gonna go up too in value.
Maybe, yeah, copper.
So far in your 2 years, a little bit over 2 years of owning your own development firm, what's the biggest mistake you've made?
I don't know. If there's been mistakes, we don't think about it because there's nothing you can do then.
Sure.
So it's kind of forget. Biggest mistake. I don't know, man. I'm perfect. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think that, again, there's wins and losses every day where there's things that, we wish we would have figured that out sooner. Maybe we would have gone about things in a different process, but we can't change anything, so why dwell on the past? Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's not like we have a time machine. But there's been nothing like bad that's happened with either of our projects, which has been great. Obviously, we've still got a long way to go. We've got 10 weeks till the Aladdin opens up, and then 5.5 weeks till the Holtman opens up. But yeah, there hasn't been like any like, damn, that was bad.
Okay.
Won't do that again. We've been pretty smart. And that's kudos to surrounding yourself with good people and a good team.
For sure. And what's the biggest misconception of development in real estate?
That you need a lot of money to start. That's not completely true. You don't need a lot of money to start. You need to have dollars around you to start. You need to be able to raise dollars. You need to be able to have someone that can help sign on debt. And those two things in and of itself are very hard. But you as an individual don't necessarily need it. You just have to align everyone's interest. What my splits look like on the Aladdin right now at 25 versus if I did that project when I was 45 and 20 years into my career, those look very different. It's a risk return that these investors are looking for, and they're taking a heavier risk on me and on our team as a young group. But our splits are very fair for what they're investing in, which is us and this big project.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the first biggest misconception. But the one piece of advice I'd give every developer is have more cash than you think.
Okay.
Is you need cash flow for this business. The only reason that we're able to stay afloat in any way, shape, or form is because our social media is at least helping us break even every month.
Okay.
But otherwise, our churn is crazy. I mean, it is a lot. It's expensive to run a development firm.
Yeah.
And we're not very big.
Yeah.
But it's expensive. I mean, pursuit costs, legal. I mean, it adds up.
How much does it cost on a monthly basis for an average development firm?
I mean, we're spending about $35,000 a month right now.
Wow.
Yeah. When we don't bring in money outside of the social media stuff. We don't have projects that are done yet.
Yeah.
And so that obviously shifts and changes once they're done, which is great. That's the beauty of it. But that takes 3-4 years before you even see any sort of your promote on the GP side. So sure, there's fees along the way, which help on that front too. But it's a cash intensive business. And I mean, I knew that going in, but there's no such thing as having more cash. I mean, you need some cash.
So how does somebody who doesn't have social media or a side job keep afloat in their first couple developments before they have that cash flow coming in?
Wonderful question. You got to find some of the best developers are people that they started in something else and that they came that cash flowing business, and then they realized, wow, I could couple this with development. Like a lot of really good developers, they started as general contractors and then realized, oh, we're building. Well, what if we just brought one person on that can do the entitlement work? Okay, cool. Well, now we can build our own stuff. Wait, what if we develop? What if we do all this? They have that knowledge base, but they already had the cash flowing business beforehand.
Yeah.
Someone like Barrett Lindbergh, who's taking over Dallas, being so vertically integrated with his management company, construction company, development company, or Chris Hatch, broker, agent, developer, I mean everything. Again, cash rules the world. Money doesn't rule the world, but cash does. You got to have cash in order to do things. It takes money to make money.
For
That's
sure.
how it works.
Yeah. Going back to risk, you said that you have a lot of people taking a big risk on you.
Yeah. Very.
Why do you think they're taking a risk on you?
A couple of reasons. The part of the pitch with all of our projects and everything is the reason why I would argue, part of the reason why people give us money for these projects is that while some would argue that we have nothing to lose, I would argue we have everything to lose because we're building in public, because we're documenting everything. It adds an extra layer to all of this.
Yeah.
We've got millions of eyeballs watching every month that when we do succeed, it's going to be awesome. Everybody gets to know about it. But there's going to be hiccups and failures along the way. We share those things too. So that added risk, in a sense, they like that because I will do literally anything in my power to make sure that it works, because you can't fail publicly and then keep going.
True.
You don't mess up your first 2 development projects and then expect to go raise dollars again.
Yeah.
And I think they believed in our ability to execute. We put a really, really, really good team together between our architect, our contractors, our debt, legal, all of that. We had a really good team that de-risked it. And it was, wow, those kids, for lack of a better term, they put that team together.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they at least know something going on. They at least, they've got that going for them. Because at the end of the day, it takes a village. It's not just us. It's not just me. It's not, just our partners. It's everyone. So again, it goes back to time, value, money, and a risk thing. So
For sure.
there's literally nothing I would do to make sure that this works for them, myself, and the city.
For sure. I want to talk about building in public, but first I had another idea that kind of just came from watching you and hearing you speak. It seems like you're very good at bringing the right people around you.
Yeah, that's all. Everything's a people game.
But how do you do that? Like, is that a natural skill that you have? Because for me, I'm trying to build a company and I'm struggling finding the right people. You seem to be very good at surrounding yourself with the right people.
That has honestly been one of the coolest parts about what we're building and what we've been doing is our ability to attract talent is crazy.
Yeah.
So like when we put out stuff for the internship 2 weeks ago,
That's good.
We really only needed one. And we were going through all of them. And I was looking at Anna, I was like, we might need 5.
Yeah.
Like, these are awesome. These people are awesome. If you're a good person and you're doing cool things and you're blunt, you're straightforward, but you're also fun, you're courageous, and you're a good leader, it attracts good talent. Good people attract good people. You are who the 5 people you surround yourself with. So it's been awesome. I know that when we do continue to grow and scale and bring people on, we'll be able to find some of the best talent. I think the other part about that is properly incentivizing your people, but also giving them the freedom. A great example is Annie. Annie was running our social media. She was doing awesome. She's doing great. And she became, in my opinion, worth more than what I could pay her and what she deserved. Most people would not say to their employee, leave, go start your own firm. I was like, leave, go start your own firm. She's killing it now. She's doing consulting. She's crushing it. She helped Ken Ashley with his book launch, and he became a #1 bestseller in one day. Like, that's awesome. So while at the same time you want to keep your core talent and keep them, within your niche and within your company, know when it's the right time to let the bird fly out of the nest. Because everything comes back full circle. But if you have talent that you're like, I can't lose that, the best way to do it is incentivize it. Whether that be ownership, vesting it, whether it be a higher pay, whether that be just, again, creative flexibility. Like, our jobs are awesome. Like Anna and Colin and I, we live in a simulation.
Yeah.
Like, it feels,
it's like a movie.
Every day feels like a movie.
Yeah.
People ask us, like, what do you do? Like, what does your day-to-day look like? It's like,
movie.
I don't know. Tomorrow will be different than today. But that's what makes it fun.
For sure. So going back to building in public.
Stop. If you're renting an apartment anywhere in the US, I need you to stop. Stop endlessly searching Zillow. Stop getting rejected by landlords you'll never hear from. Stop paying $50 an application. Stop losing apartments to people with fake pay stubs. Stop paying broker fees just to walk through a door. You're doing it wrong. Go to verifyexchange.com, get verified one time, and the right apartment comes straight to you.
So going back to building in public, I feel like you've led the way with other creators like Raj, Yanni, those guys. Tell me more about why you decided to build in public.
There's never been a time frame in the history of ever where you have access to millions of people within the click of a button. There are so many different ways where you can attract talent, you can attract people, investors, projects, friendships, through social media and through building. There's not many development firms doing it. There's not many people talking about what goes on. We're launching a new series, which will be basically the whole theme of YouTube. So you're the first to know this.
Fire.
It's called The Tape Behind the Tape, meaning the tape, like video, behind the tape of construction. No one talks about it. No one does it. And so that'll be really cool. Again, it's changed my life, and people that aren't utilizing the platforms, and also just going out and meeting people and shaking hands. I mean, that's the biggest part about it is, well, yes, we're on social media. You'll also see me everywhere in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm at everything, because I want them to know that I'm not just a face on their screen. Like, I'm real. I'm a guy. But it is funny. People walk up to you and be just like, I feel like I know you. It's like, you do, one side of me. It was like, you don't know the other side. But it's surreal. So I think that if people aren't utilizing building in public, they should be. And I understand why people are scared. If you work for big corporations, There's rules, there's regulations, there's restrictions, and that's tough. That's tough to navigate around. It's tough to deal with sometimes. The doors that are left open when you do put yourself out there are unbelievable.
For sure.
No one will ever regret it.
Yeah. What's the worst part about building in public?
You know you've made it when you've got haters. We've got plenty of haters, and we've
Yeah.
always had haters. You know, daddy's money, this, blah blah blah. And that's fine. That's whatever. I owe it to absolutely no one to like explain anything. Obviously, I know it's not true, and I've talked about my story countless times, and it does sound crazy that we raised $6 million from, at the time, in a way, 30 plus strangers.
Yeah.
I mean, I really only knew like 5 of our investors 2 months prior to that project, like
That's
5 of
crazy.
them. The other 25 are people I'd met over those next 2 months while we were trying to raise $6 million.
Yeah.
Contractors, subs, RAs, different investment firms, family offices. Like, while my story sounds crazy, it's also crazy on their part in a sense at that time. Now it's obviously not. But yeah, you can just do things. But yeah, definitely the hater aspect. You got to have tough skin. If you don't have tough skin, then don't build in public.
Yeah.
But also, people that don't have tough skin, I think they're also going to fall behind in just life in general.
Sure.
You got to have tough skin.
For sure. For sure.
Someone kicks you, you say thanks.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Got to get back up.
Yeah, got to get back up.
So talking more about real estate in general, it's more of an old school, old man's game. So what's it like being a young guy playing in that game?
Oh, it's fun. We got to rewrite the rules.
Yeah.
You know, we're at our Holtman building. It has 13 different, in a way, concepts inside of it on a 40,000 square foot building. Everyone was like, dude, pick your brain damage.
Yeah.
Go, nope, let's do it all in one building. I think the cool part about it is that we have individuals reaching out to us wanting to move their retail shop in there or move their office space somewhere. Or the Holtman building, we did not market our rents or anything for our units. We're already full. We didn't market it once.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it. We just talked about this is what this project is going to be, and people reach out saying, "Hey, I'd love a 1-bedroom. What price point?" And I was like, "I don't know. What would you pay? Here's what the finishes look like." It was a bidding war. Like, that's crazy. I think the other cool part about being a younger person in a very younger team in this industry is we know what our end user wants. Like, a normal renter is typically younger. Well, we are younger, so I understand what's worth it from a finish standpoint, and for a unit, what's worth it from an amenity standpoint, what people actually want, where we should focus those dollars at. I think the biggest blessing about it, though, is we are the new, young, fresh blood face in Kansas City as it pertains to the city stuff, and they love that. Where other people would view that as like concerning, or that might be, they would think that maybe was a big hurdle. It was at first, but now it's awesome. They love dealing with us because we are young and we just do things. The city says, great. And I go like, all right, let's go build. And then it gets done. They're like, wow, you actually did that. Like the bus stop.
Yeah.
Like that was my idea. And the city's like, do it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need a permit. They go, nope, have fun. It's like, that's crazy. But because we're just doing things, again, you can just do things.
True.
So it's been wild. It's been really, really cool to see all the support within the city, and all the support, I mean, honestly, throughout the world. We've got people in Australia following us, UK. On Facebook, 39% of our followers are overseas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They're not doing stuff like that outside of the US.
They might be. They've got cooler buildings overseas in Europe and stuff, but they're not documenting their story.
Fair.
There's a couple people, but not a ton.
Tell me more about the bus stop. How'd you even come up with that?
Dude, I don't know. So I was sitting at lunch with the director of the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority, and I was like, I'd love to make the perception of bus stops is so bad. People think like, oh, crime and homelessness and pee and all this and trash.
Yeah.
I was like, we need to, one bus stop's not going to change it, but I was like, I'd love to change the narrative behind bus stops and make it into like a piece of art. I literally was just rambling. I was like, I don't know, like cut a bus in half, make it a bus stop or something. And we had lunch, yada, yada. And then like 2 weeks later, he calls me and says, hey, were you serious about that? I was like, serious about what? He's like, about like making a bus stop in like art. I was like, I mean, yeah, we could probably figure it out. He goes, we've got 13 decommissioned buses. We'd sell you one. It's like, okay. Yeah, I think this could probably happen. And then literally coincidentally that next week, this metal worker reached out to me and was like, hey, let me know if there's anything I can ever do. I'd love to work on one of your projects. And I responded, it's like, I've got a project for you.
Yeah.
I met with him. I was like, you think you can do this? He's like, no. He's like, but let's figure it out. I was like, you can't mess it up. I go, if you mess it up, what do you do?
There's nothing like
and it turned out awesome. It is so cool.
It's crazy.
What I never imagined is advertisements and advertisers are reaching out to us that wanted to do things. That bus stop it would cost us about $25,000, and we will make that back in 2 months.
Wow.
2 months on ads.
That's crazy.
Never thought that would be a source of revenue.
Yeah. Got to get creative though.
For sure.
That's crazy. So run me through the Aladdin Hotel, the whole story, how it started, and your vision of it.
I mean, so Aladdin is built in 1925, Italian Romanesque, obviously a beautiful building. I knew that it was for sale, kind of. That it was off and on for 4 years. I reached out to the owner. I was like, I'm interested. He was just done at this point. They had a bunch of other hotel projects throughout the U.S. This was the only building that they had that was offline, and he was just done. He just like, I don't want it anymore. I want to take my loss. Godspeed. And I had my vision. I had a plan. He wanted to make sure that we could actually execute. So we put up hard earnest money. We had 60 days to go raise some money to go buy it. Myself, Max, and Hunter, bought the building. And then over the next 4 months, raised more money, closed some tax credits and all the loans and all that fun stuff. Started demolition in December of 24. Started rebuilding it in March of 25. And then we'll be done here in July of 2026. So
hell yeah,
it's just absolutely surreal. So we took everything out. We demoed the entire building, everything that was non-historic. It's pretty much floors 2 to 15. When we bought it, 80% of the rooms, the doors were locked, beds were made, towels were folded in the tub, pens waiting for the next person to stay there. It was a 2020 time capsule.
Yeah.
It closed down to COVID and no one ever went there since.
Wow.
So we ripped everything out, took it back down to the concrete floors, ceilings and columns, all new plumbing, HVAC, electrical, fire suppression, windows, walls, elevators, doors. When it's all said and done, we'll be all in for about $37.5 million.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. And have you ever been there, like growing up? Like, have you like seen it? Did you know what it was before because you're from the area?
Not really. No, it's a tall building, but it's not big. It's skinny.
Yeah.
It just kind of blends in. Now it's, awesome. It's pretty cool. But no, I never went there growing up. I'd never stayed there.
Well, building in your hometown city.
It's pretty cool.
That's
pretty cool to
pretty
drive
dope.
on the highway.
Yeah. But what's one thing that like you remember from your childhood that you would want to do next within the city? Like specific building, a specific area?
All of it. I mean, there's not one area, there's not one building. I mean, if I had a dream building, which will never happen, but I'd love to redevelop the Tension Envelopes building. It's right next to our other project, but it's a thriving business. They'll never sell it. It's been in the family since the 1800s. So, but gosh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
It's like half a million square feet. It's awesome.
Sheesh. It's a hotel?
No, it's a big brick building.
Okay. What's it, like a company, industrial?
Yeah.
Office?
They make envelopes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Okay. What's the best social media platform right now?
For what? What's the goal? What are you trying to accomplish?
To make money.
Twitter, X, 100%,
Okay.
hands down. I don't even know why I asked the question.
Okay.
100%, hands down.
And what
For
about
the people you can meet on there, the lurkers on there? It's so raw. It's so it's just raw.
Yeah.
Quality content on X all day.
Okay.
All day.
And what about building a business?
Are you selling a product or service?
Yeah.
I think Facebook's solid.
Okay.
There's a lot more. The reason why Facebook is because I'll have to look at the numbers, but it's something like 20x the amount of people on Facebook versus any other platform.
Oh,
Facebook is, huge.
It's the most
Keep in mind,
users
it's
across
been
the board.
around for so long. In
Fair.
ways, it was the first one.
Yeah.
Couple that with like paid ads on Facebook. Like again, we don't do it, but I always hear people talking about it.
People do.
Pushing out that for a product or service, I think that's big time. I think your reach on there could be great, and it's coupled with Instagram, right? So those two together, I think for a product or service, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
That's me saying that with absolutely no clue in any way, shape, or form because I don't sell a product or service. So I would think that those two would be the best. I would say the flip side of that is like X would probably be the worst in a sense for that. Just because the algorithm doesn't like links, and it's harder to. There's really not a lot of paid posts and stuff on X because if you're the good people on X are probably paying for their check mark, which means they don't have ads.
True.
So
they don't.
You can't get around that on Facebook and Instagram. You're getting ads regardless.
Yeah. So for young developers out there who want to get started, what's the best way to get your first investment?
Put yourself in the right rooms and have delusional confidence in yourself and your ability, and have your pitch ready for your why before you find a building. You almost work backwards. You find your investors or you find people that you think will invest with you, and you find in a way like a number of like, okay, how much do I think I can raise and put together with my resources that I have. Okay, you take that now back into, all right, I can go try to find my buy box is 1 to 5 million, or 250,000 to 500,000. You find that, you work backwards in a sense.
Yeah.
That's me coming from someone who did not do it that way.
Yeah.
That's how we do things now in a sense. Like, I'm not going to go and look at a $300 million project because I don't think we could put together $80 million of cash and find someone to sign on $220 million loans. Could we do a project like 100 million right now? I think we could.
Yeah.
I think we could pull together 20 million or so if we needed to.
Oh, yeah.
It'd take a while. Don't get me wrong. It'd be a pain, but you back into it that way. So put yourself in the right room, shake a lot of hands, put yourself out there. As Bob Knackle always says, it's not about who you know, it's who knows you.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about. One last piece of advice for all the young guys out there who want to go create a company, make money, make a dream. What do you got for them? There's
no right time. No one's going to tell you it's the right time. No one's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, do it. At some point, you just got to take a bet on yourself. I was not born in poverty by any stretch of imagination. I was born with a great family. My dad's an entrepreneur. My stepdad's an entrepreneur. Use resources that you have that are at your disposal to your advantage. At the end of the day, you can't change who you are. You can only change who you're going to become. And in order to find out what you want to become and do it, you got to take a risk. You have to take a bet on yourself. No one does anything crazy without betting on themselves. You have to do that in anything, right? Not just business, but also in life. Take a bet on yourself, and everything works out for a reason. And what's the worst that happen? You go bankrupt? I mean, that would be bad. But
that'd be pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, but don't do that.
Yeah, yes, sir. Zach Molzer, 25-year-old developer, Kansas City. Let's do it.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.